Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising. This is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your June forecast. And guys, I have to tell you that today is absolutely a good day. Like, you're going to love that you tuned in, because you know what? You get to hear about a benefic month, a wonderful month, a month filled with nothing but blessings and things that will make you feel extremely blessed to be here. It's been a tough few months. It's been a tough few years. And I just haven't seen astrology like this in a really long time. I mean, this is just really, really wonderful energy all around for everybody. So let's get started with it, and we'll start out with the full moon that happens in Sagittarius on the 2nd. And this full moon that happens on the 2nd is going to be your full moon. You know, you get one a year, and this one is yours. And so you want to think about, this sets the tone till the next following full moon. So for you, this is going to be affecting your 7th house. And that is your house of partnerships and marriage and collaborations. And, you know, it's for you, you can take or leave partnerships. It just seems like there's been, for the last few months, so much energy starting to push you in to actually wanting to, like, you know, become a partner with somebody. Maybe somebody came into your life and it's changed the dynamic. It's changed everything. And you're starting to think on a level that either you thought you never would before, or that you just can't believe that you think at. And so you're going to be evaluating that. You're going to be evaluating what you want. I mean, is this what you really want for your future? Because this is where this relationship or this dynamic or this collaboration or this partnership or this money venture, this is where it's going to go. So you need to really, really think this through and think about if that's what you really, really want. Now, this particular moon is going to be afflicted by Neptune and Pisces, who's going to be squaring off with the Sun in Gemini, Mars in Gemini, and Mercury in Gemini. There's just a lot of energy in opposition. And so this could be something that you thought was some other situation, or maybe there was something that was told to you that just wasn't truly what was going on. You couldn't find it out on this moon. It could end things. Now, this Neptune energy has been going on for some time. So, you know, I'm sure that if something has came out, you have a pretty good instinct as to what it is. And so maybe that's why you're thinking this through, thinking this is what you really want. Or perhaps, you know, that old lifestyle that you used to cling to when you were on your own, maybe that doesn't have the appeal anymore, you know, and maybe, you know, partnering with somebody and grounding yourself and settling down does. And so that's just something that you're going to truly, you know, be visiting. Now, on the 5th of June, Mars in Gemini, which is in your 7th house, is going to be sextiling Jupiter in Leo. This is love and romance. This is expanding that. This is in your partnership. It's thinking about the future. It's thinking about way down the line. It's about hopes, dreams, and wishes. There could be some conversations that start up that maybe progress your relationships into thinking that long term. I mean, it's a really, really wonderful energy. Then on the 8th, you have the Sun in Gemini and Mars in Gemini, both sextiling Jupiter in Leo. Now, for the next couple, for the 8th and the 10th, that energy exists. And this is a sextile is energy that just works harmoniously with each other. They dance around. This type of energy brings you just a strong core. It brings you, you passionately pursue things. You have a really strong confidence when you're doing it. I mean, whatever you seem to touch, it expands. It can bring in sudden windfalls. It could bring in, and I say this because Aries, Uranus and Aries energy is also going to be trining the Sun and Gemini, and trining Mars and Gemini, and for almost both those, for the 8th and the 10th. And so these 2 days are just beautiful, beautiful days. I mean, in fact, on the 10th, it's just nothing but sextiles that day. And so you're just going to feel good. You're going to feel strong. You're going to feel confident. You're going to feel passionate. You're going to feel lovey. You're going to feel romantic. You know, you're going to, man, with this kind of energy, you could just run off and go elope and get married. You know, if all this energy is in your 7th house and it's going really good, you may just surprise everybody and just run off and decide, or pop the question nobody thought you ever would. I mean, that's the kind of energy that this is. Then on the 11th, Mercury goes direct, and I love that it's going direct. You know, we're getting out of all of this slave to our past energy and having us work through everything. And one thing that I particularly like about this month is Saturn goes out of Sagittarius and goes into Scorpio this month. And so that kind of releases you there too. I mean, for a little while, and then we'll go back in there, but neither here nor there. It's time for you to like take a breath from sitting in the classroom, and you know, and get out and play and have fun and walk about and talk about all that you've learned about yourself and how you've evolved. And it's just, you know, wonderful conversations are going to generate after the 13th. On this same day, however, Neptune does go retrograde. Now, this is not a personal planet, so it's not going to be quite as hardcore as it was when Mercury went into retrograde. But it's just not an optimum day, you know, that because Mercury takes time to speed up to its full speed. And so I like to tell people to wait until about the 13th to have any conversations, to talk about the future, to purchase anything really big, especially if it has moving parts, to you know, to try to start out on ventures where communication is a factor, to sign up for school. Like, if you can possibly do it, like, just wait. And then on the 14th, we have the Sun in Gemini. It sextiles Uranus and Aries, as well as with Mars and Gemini. It also sextiles Uranus and Aries. And on the 14th, we have a really interesting, that's the day that Saturn goes from being in your sign, Sagittarius, and it goes into Scorpio. When this happens, it goes back and revisits when it was last there, when it was last in this energy. And so around in October of 2012, you might want to think about in 13 and 14, that those years, that time frame, you might want to think about what your life was like. Have you progressed? Was there anything that happened during that time? If so, what can you learn from it? Have you paid back all your karmic debt? If you have, it's great progression, and it's a great time to move forward. That is when, if you have been moving forward, you have been doing what you're supposed to, you know, this is a time when Saturn starts to become benefic instead of a malefic presence that kind of sometimes puts obstacles before you so that you can't progress. It's like that's not the energy that happens in this particular aspect. The 16th, we have a new moon in Gemini. And this new moon is going to be in your 7th house. And so this is going to be, you know, something having to do with partnership. It's going to be planting that seed for probably a lifetime. All of this energy is progressive energy. It is not anything that's going to pull us back down. I think we've seen so much, you know, past energy that's been pulling us back in the past. I think we think we're a slave to it, but we're not. We're about moving forward. It doesn't matter, even if it's somebody from our past that we brought back in May. It doesn't matter. It's still about progressing that relationship. It's still about progression. And And it's in partnerships. It's in how you love others. It's how you collaborate. It's in business partnerships. It's in contracts and legality issues. You know, it's a really big area, but it's a really huge area to have so much benefic energy in. Then on the 22nd, you have Jupiter in your 9th house. And Jupiter in Leo is going to be trining Uranus and Aries. And Venus in Leo is going to be trining Uranus and Aries. Now, again, this is a trinus in energy that it's easy to take advantage of this energy and to, you know, and to make this energy like not quite as, not take it quite as seriously as when you've got a sextile, because you're just being sprinkled with fairy dust and when you have a sextile. You just can't get away from it because it rains down good feelings. But when you have a sextile, sometimes you really either don't choose to, you know, really lock into that type of energy because the day is just going so smooth, you're not really thinking about progression. And then on the 23rd, you have Mercury in Gemini in the 7th house. The 23rd is a hard day for everybody. It is when the moon in Scorpio is going to be squaring off with the sun in Cancer. And so this sets off a cascade of events this day because your sun, your core, is in this like really vulnerable position. And but then you've got moon in Scorpio wanting to control and monopolize and to make sure everything goes okay because you have these emotional situations. So you're going to feel torn in this type of energy between your emotional well-being and being in control of it and knowing that there is no control and that you're going to want to hide from it. If you do that, that can pull you back into this Saturn and Scorpio energy, which is actually quincunxing Mars in Gemini and the Sun in Cancer. This is a hard day. It's a day of maybe reflection, a day of looking back at your past and saying, okay, you know, it's a day I've got to work through. It's fine. You know, it's just the way it goes. And then on June 28th, you're going to have your Venus in Leo and Jupiter in Leo, both trining Uranus and Aries. So we have a few days where we have that icky part, and then we're back on to trining energy and feeling good in it. I do want to say that this month is particularly fabulous. You're going to feel wonderful in this energy. It's just going to feel like, you know, there's an extra spring in your step. Like you have not felt this energy in a really long time. And I think that sometimes when you haven't felt energy like this in a long time, you almost can't believe that it could be so benefic. But, you know, in your partnership is where you're going to shine. In relationships with others, how you network yourself, your hopes, your dreams, your wishes, all of that stuff is going to shine. I would dream big and I would live large and I would enjoy this month because you have been through a lot. And there's nothing better than when the energy is fully supportive of you. I hope you have a fabulous, wonderful month. I do daily horoscopes and energy readings. I do go way more into detail in the energy. I usually upload them on Sunday and then I upload them for the entire week. You can also find them on my my Facebook page. But if I don't see you on my dailies, then I look forward to talking to you again next month.